Hello and welcome back to Mini Metro. Now, as you can see here, this was recorded straight after the previous episode, which was a horrible failure. But we're going to try it again, and this time it's not going to go badly. That's the plan. So let's just create like a start thing. And extend it out. I might try just keeping the starter lines going this time, opposed to doing that total redesign. I think that just causes a little bit too much stress on the system. It's much easier just to create these starter lines. Although it has started us right in the corner of the river, which I don't like. I prefer starting a little bit in a bit more open space if we're doing that. Okay, I'll disconnect blue and do that. So it should be a little bit better. All the square people, all people want to go to square, it should have to stop on this track, which is kind of ideal. Let's make yellow kind of bend round like this, because we're going to make green go into these areas up here. We're going to make blue go down here and maybe up there. At least it's not putting things straight in the bits that we need tunnels right away, so we don't have that same problem we had last time. Yeah, I think this has to be a yellow line. Orange line. We found out last time there was a much more yellow line. I think our only trouble is if green line gets a bit overwhelmed right now. But it shouldn't do, it only has 2 stops. I'm actually going to try just continuing orange line around here. Because they should spawn a few stations then. Get away, inventory, I was trying to point. But should spawn a few stations further down here. And then maybe orange can intersect twice with these lines, which would take away a lot of the pressure on orange. If we can do that. Green line needs to go up there. Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully it doesn't spawn a lot of circles up there, but if it does, we'll find a solution. Yeah, it's Sunday. There's no real trouble, but it is the first week, so you don't tend to get too many bits of trouble in the first week. Although there is a lot of stuff happening down there, so maybe a carriage. So we got a choice between lines and tunnels. We're going to take one. Oh, tunnels gives you 2 on this map. I think on London it only gives you 1 extra tunnel. That's huge, because that means that it's solved all of our tunnel issues for the rest of the map so far, I think, you know. Good, we've got another, it spawned a unique one on green line, which is really good, because it means that should be the only station getting congestion on it. And green is a very short line right now, so it should be able to cope. This one's a bit of a pain, but I think we're going to use blue line and kind of bend around like that to get it. That'll do. It's not the neatest thing ever, but it's functional. None of the lines are getting too congested right now. So yes, I'll just keep this running. I'm just trying to figure out how best to cope with that one up there. I think it might be best to do something like this with blue line. Because it's not got a lot of traffic on it. It doesn't have lots of unique things going to it. Might cause a bit of an issue because it's got multiple symbols in a row. But if we treat this triangle as more being every other symbol, it's still okay. You can kind of treat it like that because every other symbol will be getting off there, apart from circles, because they'll be going there. So as long as there's not a whole bunch of circles, it shouldn't be too much issue. I'm kind of considering putting something like this down here, actually. Which might solve a bit of the circle issue. Because then the circles can... Yeah, that won't solve any of our congestion issues there. Might as well just... The reason it won't solve any of our issues, because if we got a lot of circle passengers in that one and that one, it's going to make no difference if they get off before they go there. It's just going to cause another place where we have some issues. We just want this line to be short so that we can clear it quickly. I think orange line definitely needs another carriage on it, or another train. Oh, perfect! That solved blue line's issue because we got a circle in between those two stations. We might need to put a carriage on green line actually. Oh no! If we can get a carriage, we'll put it on green line and put another train on orange, which would be fine. Now, square being over here is interesting. I think it has to be orange line that picks it up. That means the green's not going to be as congested, so we won't put... I don't think we're going to put a carriage on it. But it might cause more congestion on yellow line. So I think we might put a carriage and a train on it. But then that might cause the other lines to get too much. We'll see how this goes just now. This day. Yeah, it seems pretty clear. But there is a lot of people wanting to be on this orange line. And we had to extend it again. But yeah, my plan is if there's some more that spawn down in this area, we can move these lines down here and then orange can connect round in a circle. Then it'll connect twice with these lines and it will be quite efficient. I hope. Right, locomotive. We're gonna pick a carriage because we're not really extending out very far. So right, we still have a train from last week that we never used. I think we're gonna put the train on the green line, and then put a train and a carriage on orange. That seems like a good choice to me because that means green is going to be constantly clearing. Orange is going to be able to pick up the slack that it's been getting. It should be fine. Oh, we got a unique on orange. I kind of want the uniques on the sidelines, but I'm not going to be too bothered. I'll just leave it where I'm not going to redesign the track around it. Actually, I might redesign the track a little bit around it. Nah. I was considering moving the green line from one circle to there, but if there are more circle passengers than there are star passengers, which is how I think it's worked out, I'm still not 100% sure in this game, but that means you actually want it to connect to a more common symbol. We're going to connect blue round like this because, well, orange it doesn't really work. Okay, that's not neat enough to stay. That's better. Right. Because you know, if your track looks nicer, then it goes faster. Obviously. Maybe I have too many trains on green line, but I'm willing to live with it. I think actually, because we have too many trains on it, I might do something like this. And just get it used a little bit more. That also, yeah, it kind of gives a bit more reasoning for this to connect around like that. Because now it's connecting twice. It can drop off passengers here, like from here to there. And it can go around, drop off the blue passengers, to go back round again. I think it's going to work. You just need a tiny bit more on blue side. Here. Well, what's this? That's just annoying. Yeah, you have to kind of make your track before you let it stay. I think we might kind of force this circle by doing something like that. We still have a bunch of tunnels left. Yeah, we still have 2, which means that we can go into both of those ones, no trouble. Right. So this should hopefully make this work a little bit better. Would prefer if it wasn't connecting there, but I'm not going to redesign the track to make that a little bit better. I'm wondering whether we need another train on orange, just to be sitting, like to be in between those 2 trains lines. Not 100% sure. Right, another square for green line. No trouble. That's barely going to have an impact on congestion, I think, because if they really want... Because this is only one stop, this square is only one stop away from both of these orange lines, so that's always going to be the station that's getting the squares onto it. So it's really only square passengers from Cross that are going to be going there. So that's fine. We could have used blue line to get it, actually. You know, for carriage. I actually like that idea a lot more. If we extend blue line through here, that gives it somewhere else to drop off square passengers. And I think we need to put another train on it. Just because it's going to get a few more passengers going towards it now. Possibly from yellow if they're heading round that way. I don't know. See how it works out. And another carriage on yellow line. I think this is the week where we failed last time. Or maybe it's the end of this week we failed. But we're about 300 passengers in. I think it was 337 last time. So that's the number to beat. So another unique for green line. This is going to cause some more congestion on green line because it's it's the only one of that symbol. So it's not so great, but then again, green line's got hardly any traffic on it at all. So leave it. Oh, we're getting up to the number. Woo! We beat our previous attempt. We still didn't beat, I believe, attempt number 1. So we're gonna keep going with this. Okay, so another one out here. It was going to happen at one time or another. I'm going to make sure that it connects in like this. Can it not look so awful? That's much better. Thank you. Reasoning for not connecting it around in the simpler way is because this way we've not got 3 circles in a row. That's about it. Also, it now looks quite nice at the end. Well, comparatively. I think if we get over 600 passengers with this idea, I'll be happy. Might ditch the idea, but I'll be happy-ish with it. Might want another line soon, but we don't really have any great need for it. It's just because I'm feeling that these lines are going to start to get a bit unwieldy soon. Especially blue line. It's on the verge of being unwieldy. Ran out of tunnels. If we got a few more tunnels, we could connect around green line, because I quite like having circle lines. I think it's more efficient. I have no statistics to back that up whatsoever. Maybe we could try kind of interlocking lines a little bit. Like have the green line can connect up to this square up here. Then blue can drop it off on either end of its line. I kind of like that as well. Yeah, tunnel seems like a good choice next. Might be an it will also mean there's less congestion on that particular station because it's not, obviously it's not going to drop everything off there. Tunnels. We are going to connect round like that. Used all of our remaining tunnels, but I think it's a good idea. I think this will remove congestion on all 3 lines without causing too much of an issue. Okay. Connect yellow line like that. No trouble. And it appeared between 2 circles, which I quite like. Okay. None of the lines seem to have any particular trouble on it. Oh, this station's got trouble on it, but we've already worked out that that's not going to be a permanent problem because they're now going to drop off from this station from blue, opposed to dropping off there. Right, so I guess it needs to just connect like that. That's fine, it gives somewhere else for circles to drop off, so they're not dropping off there. So that would be pretty bad. There's no traffic on any of the lines. Still, it's a little bit on yellow actually. A little bit more now. It's just kind of here. It's picking up a lot of traffic. I don't know whether this is just the random chance or whether there's some particular reason for that, but we'll see. Okay, this triangle I think has to be here because otherwise it's going to put 2 triangles in a row on a different line. So I'll do that. I'm thinking another train and another carriage on yellow line would be ideal. If not, then I think we could, if we get another line as an option, we could make yellow line stop here and then make this a separate line over here. This isn't yellow, this is orange, but whatever. Doesn't really matter for the point. Yeah, I think if we made the orange line a little bit shorter and then put a small line at the end, that would work out quite well. Might even work better than just putting more infrastructure in orange. It's just cutting orange's size. Okay, we'll see. We can get an option where we have to put more in. Oh, we still had another train left. I never noticed that. Okay, so we're just going to dump everything on orange. Might not be the best plan, but it got another unique on it, so it's got, what, 3 uniques? It's going to be quite a... It's going to be a line that's got a lot of demand for it. Okay. Yep. Seems to be running well. We're over 750 passengers. Got a little bit of trouble on green line here, but I think that some of those are going to be solved by going to on yellow line. Are they? Okay, green line needs some more structure, I think. I'm just trying to find a way to make this look not awful. Something like that. It's got a bit of a sharp turning, but that doesn't look awful. Yellow appears to be running quite efficiently. Apart from these trains are kind of stacking, I don't like it, but it will naturally solve itself by like eventually some trains won't stop. Oh, this one's actually sitting and waiting for the other train to move forward. I've never seen that before. That's kind of cool. Okay, I think that needs to connect like that. Yeah. I do want to put another line down here, but I also want to solve some of the other lines' problems before I start expanding. Blue line's actually also getting a lot more traffic because it's a longer line now. I think what we might want to do is we might want to put another train on green and another carriage on blue. My reasoning for this is blue doesn't have a lot of variety in its line. So most of the passengers are going to be travelling a fair length of the line once they hit here. While green has some more variety in the line, but it's not quite as long like as a trip round, so maybe having more regular trips on green would be better, and having larger trains on blue would be better. Again, it all depends on what we're offered. Gonna pick up passengers there, fix that trouble. At 940 passengers, going well. Locomotive and carriage or tunnels. So we got the options I was wanting. We'll put a carriage there, not carriage, a train there, and an extra carriage in blue. Should hopefully fix it. Yellow's looking a little bit congested, but that's just because the trains are about to reach it, I think. So, yeah, that train emptied nearly its entire passenger load at that station, so. Yeah. Okay, let's go around like that, if I can convince it not to look awful. Just gonna let this run forward a little bit. So, green, yep, they're all for green line. Okay. This seems to be working out. This is the first huge train going down blue line. So we'll see how that one works out. Hopefully it doesn't get too full by the time it gets around there, but maybe it will. Looking at the number of squares on this train, I'm actually going to extend out blue line because that should reduce traffic even though it makes the line longer, because all these squares won't be sitting on the train, so it will be able to pick up, it would be able to pick up every single passenger on that line. Also, it'll pick up squares going back the way, which would be better. So let's see, it should pick up squares going back. Another station on it. Right. We're definitely going to have to put some more structure on blue line, I think, because it is getting a little congested. We have gone way over 1,000 though, so this is definitely a much better showing of the strategy than previously. Yeah, another one over here. Orange line seems to be coping well though. Green line is, I think, the most efficient line we've got. But blue has a lot of issues. Although orange also seems to be having some issues of its own. We've got line and tunnel. We're going to take line. Right. I'm just working out the best way to do this. I think we're going to disconnect all of these stations. Make blue line that short. Then on yellow, on orange, we're going to disconnect those stations. That's making this a bit too long. We'll connect that one, and that one. Okay. Then the plan is going to be some. And we'll connect this one, because that makes what I'm doing a bit nicer. Now we're going to connect through like this with an actual yellow line. Ooh, no, that's going to connect into there. Can we go round? Yeah, we go round. Perfect. We'll let this run forward a few ticks and see how that looks. Yellow needs to connect into it more, I think. I think it needs to interconnect these lines more if it can. So maybe another connection there. Yeah, it's just while it doesn't have a lot of maybe we'll make blue line a bit longer again. Maybe we'll make yellow only go to there and blue line can connect round like that. That's fine. That should work. I think. Oh, spawned another one for yellow. So obviously our infrastructure is going to need to rush to yellow, but I think this will cause less trouble on the other lines. I think we just beat my best on the track, which is good. Still not a fabulous score, but I'm happy with how it's going. I'm actually going to connect to this yellow line because this circle, because although it's 3 circles in a row, it's actually, through the logic I was using earlier, that's any symbol because how it has to connect. Okay, so we're just going to connect like that now. Right. I wish you didn't have to disconnect it to make the line better. I always kind of want a way to just redesign the lines without having to disconnect them. Right, if we connect like that, now it will stay as I want it. And then go to there. Actually, we'll just end it in square, because that's a better place for it. Yes. Hopefully we're not going to have a lot of demand on this yellow line, although we do already have one station that's particularly demanding. We might just connect orange along yellow for just now. We'll leave it. That's not a permanent station, but what this should do is this should just pick up a bit more of the traffic. Just until we can actually put more trains on yellow line. So we'll just connect orange a bit more round. So orange will be going along a bit more of its old route. That's fine. We'll also do the same with blue a little bit. Just we don't want to get an end condition. We don't want to lose. So what am I going to do with that? Guess we just need to make blue line really long. Yeah, make it look nicer, and then carry on. Almost at the Sunday. Orange is getting a lot of traffic on it, but that should kind of be expected because orange is doing the job of 2 lines right now. I think if we can get a train and a carriage for yellow, that will solve a lot of our issues. But it's still a little congested down there. We are on Sunday. This is just horrible. This means the green line needs to extend all the way down there for no reason whatsoever. Make travel time on green line awful. Oh well, they're only square, they're only shapes. They won't mind a little bit of extra travel time. This is we've got a few trouble stations here. Right. Another line? What good is another line? Okay, we'll take the other line. Oh, we're gonna leave yellow connected into. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have to do with what we've got. Wow, those are really going to be an issue. Right. So we'll disconnect there. Make a new line that looks something like that. Something like that, maybe. Right. Yellow's much shorter now. Orange is shorter. Okay, we'll see how that... Oh. Let's make that look a bit nicer. We'll leave blue connected in like that. Good, it picked up all of those passengers. I think we've lost because we're not going to be able to pick up this station quick enough. Well, let's see what extra passengers we can egg out. And that's the end. Well, that was a much better run. We execute the strategy fairly well. I think I made a mistake when I went for more lines. I think I may have gone too fast for more lines. Probably should have gone for more structure on the old lines. Maybe if I was doing a new line, I should have just had it go along an old line to start with, and then extend out. Once I got a few more upgrades, or maybe hold the line in kind of reserve until we got some more upgrades for it. But anyway, that went quite well. Let's go and have a look at the leaderboards. So that was my top score so far. And about 1,000 in the world. There are a few people with a lot higher scores, so we need to go and beat them soon. They have said that they're going to be releasing betas every 1 to 2 weeks, so hopefully we might get a few new stations to play with at Sao Paulo. Yeah. Maybe some music so you don't have to just listen to me the whole time. Anyway, I'll see you next time.